Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a fantastic Star Wars Battlefront video. I actually have some Star Wars Battlefront gameplay in the background to show you guys. This is a decently impressive game. I did pretty well here, and so I've come up with a strategy for considering my Battlefront gameplays. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut each Battlefront gameplay into about 5-minute segments. Once the uplinks are done, each uplink is going to be its own video. I'm sorry if I sound a little nasally or anything, or if I stumble my words. I'm a little sick right now, but I'm powering through it for you guys. I've been playing an unhealthy amount of Star Wars Battlefront, and so because I've been playing such an unhealthy amount, and I've played the game so much, and I have so much experience with the game, I wanted to give you guys a real first impressions video, and I gave you guys a crappy first impressions video last week, I think last Friday. This is my second impression video, and this one is going to be a lot different than my first impression video. So the first thing that I would like to point out in the difference in between these first and second impressions is that, well, I was actually able to get into servers this time. I was able to get into Walker Assault servers, and I was able to get into Drop Zone servers a lot easier. And that made my experience so much more enjoyable. I didn't have to sit for 15 to 20 minutes to get in a simple lobby that had 6 people in it. I was actually able to get into games, and it made it a lot more fun to play. I got to actually play, and I got to play against people that were good and people that weren't so good. And I must say that Walker Assault is so much fun. People were complaining that it was not 32v32, it wasn't these 64v64 games, that it was 20 versus 20. And I must say, Walker Assault feels pretty good for being 20 on 20. And I know there's probably a lot of you out there who would agree that Walker Assault is very, very, very fun. And so, without further ado, let me get into my real second impressions. So in playing the game for so long, it is a really, really fun game, and although I've only been able to play 2 game types, I can say that it really didn't get boring, dull, or repetitive for me. A lot of people say it got repetitive, but there's so many different ways you can play this game. Like me, I mostly played it this kind of game, where I just sit back passively, and I let the enemy come to me, and I just dominate, pick them off from downtown, but you know, I don't always do that. It's not always successful, so sometimes I do run and gun, I do rush up into the action, and there's just so many different ways you can go about playing this game that I think it's going to have a lot of replayability. That being said, it's not like super competitive. A lot of people are just playing to have fun, and that's kind of evident in how people play, including myself. I just play this game to have fun, and you know what? It is pretty damn fun, I must say. And what else can I say about this game? The graphics are absolutely perfect, from the glistening of the snow to the blackness of Solace to every single aspect of it. It is very, very fun. It feels like Star Wars. The sparks when there's explosions, the fire. There you see in the background that little X-Wing that was rubble and then it just disintegrated. I like how they did that. Things do impact the environment, but they only impact them for a little bit of time. And then there's these smoking craters, which I'm not exactly sure how the smoking craters get there. I can't think off the top of my head how they get there. But yeah, the only thing I must say though, really, I only have a few complaints, I think. And one of those is orbital strikes. The orbital strikes need a little bit of improvement in my own opinion, because there's been on more than one occasion where I've been the rebels, and I have an orbital strike, and I'm trying to call it in on an AT-AT while the shields are down, and it won't fire. Like, the orbital strike won't come in, and that's happened to me multiple times, and I'm wondering if this is a common issue, the orbital strikes, but I think that's something they kind of need to fix, because the orbital strikes are like the biggest way for the rebels to win this game type, and if you can't bring down the orbital strike, how are you supposed to win? I think one of the other things they need to balance out is the cycler rifle. So a lot of people like using the cycle rifle. I like using the cycle rifle. And there's probably a lot of people who think it's a little OP. I think it might be a little underpowered, because the cycler rifle, unless you get a headshot, is not a one-shot kill. They need to be damaged already, or you need to shoot them in the head, or you need to finish them off afterwards. And for something that you're using an equipment slot on, it needs to be just a little bit more powerful, in my own opinion. It should be a kill to the head or the upper chest. When you shoot someone in the stomach, yeah, I agree, it should be like 50% damage, but when you hit him in the upper chest, that should probably kill them, in my own opinion, not bring them down to 10 health. Although that being said, it is only a minor inconvenience, and it is something that can be overlooked at times, because you're just beasting and you fire one extra shot, you get the kill. It doesn't really matter in the long run. So, what else can I say about it? The Starfighter gameplay, or not really a Starfighter, but like, you know, using the Starfighters in the atmosphere here, it is a little bit OP when you're shooting people on the ground, because the people on the ground have very little possibility of taking you out. It's the people up in the Starfighters against you that really have the ability to take you out. So I'd like to see that balance just a little bit more. Maybe the smart rocket's a little bit easier to lock on to aircraft. Definitely turrets at objectives. Those are a little bit OP. Like that turret right there that I just passed, that one can be so OP so often, just because once you get in that, you can just lock down an area. Or there's ones at the entrance of the base. That one could just lock down the area for the rebels, or the Empire, really. And there's a couple little glitch spots that people have found through the, what is it called, the jump booster, or whatever the jetpack is called, like up on top of the ion cannon. I've had people up on top of the ion cannon. It was a person and their partner, and they just sniped the entire game, and it was so irritating because there was absolutely no way to stop it. And so this is basically the end of the video because the uplink is done. And so I want to thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, as always, I encourage you to leave a like rating. Let me know what your guys' first impressions are on Star Wars Battlefront. And so I want to thank you guys for watching one last time, and I will see you guys later.